The doom of Eufrin. Many scholars have debated what caused the great city of Eufrin to crash into the region of Icewind Dale so many centuries ago. Was the city attacked by one of the enemies of the Empire? After all, the attacks on their empire by the aberrations known as the Faerûm had already began during this period, so it certainly is a possibility. Yet, many believe that the case was actually very different. It is after all stated on record that the city had been sent to such a desolate region as part of a research mission. The lands of the north, after all, were once part of an even older empire, the Empire of Osteria, the first empire of the giants. It is believed that relics were discovered by the Avarice, and Eufrin was sent to collect and research these relics. The relics of that ancient kingdom had power even the Avarice did not understand. Is it possible that something went wrong during this mission? For a city like Eufrin to just crash as it did, something must have happened to its magical protections. Whatever the reason, the city vanished without a trace, somewhere in that region, and with the fall of the Empire itself, only a few short years later, none was sent to investigate. Who knows what truly happened, and what wonders could still remain if that city was ever found once again. This is Red Moon Role-Playing. You continue to make your way through the lost city of Eufrin. Roshik, slightly still recovering from having just lost one of your eyes. Roman, you're doing your best to hold him up. You think eventually he'll be able to walk normally, but it is going to take him some time to get used to this new perception. Velen, meanwhile, leads the way quite cautiously. You can't shake off the feeling, though, that not only was that tower watching you, but something else is. Roman, you suddenly just feel a sensation. Could you roll me a perception check? Roshik, you can as well, but you will roll at disadvantage.
11.
7.
Roshik, you try and look around as you normally would, but again, it's difficult. You're not blinded, but having two eyes is something you simply are used to. Roman, for a moment, you think you see just at the corner of one of these buildings high above you. You thought you saw movement, but then it's gone.
We are being watched. There was something over there. We have to be extra careful now.
It could just be some mechanism, perhaps. Like, the eyes in the orb. Doesn't mean that there's someone here. I look up around, I try to listen.
I have a feeling that this was different. But it doesn't change what we have to do. Let's keep on moving.
Right.
Velen nods as you begin making your way to this other tower. Again, simply the next one along, it seems. As you do, again, you pass by buildings. And also an interesting open space. In this open space is a deep well. Seems to be going down somewhere. You can't see, obviously, from where you are, but you can see 5 crystal benches encircling this well. They glint under the purple glow of a nearby street lamp. That's right, a rather strange-looking thing. It's like some sort of stand, and at the top is a glowing little purple light. Very strange. There does seem to be, again, a little plaque just near this well as you walk past it.
I look at the plaque.
Again, to you, it seems to be written in some sort of ancient script. It does look a little draconic, you think to yourself, but it's different somehow.
Roshik, can you read this?
I, in the meantime, have conjured forth a halberd to lean on. It doesn't really weigh anything, since it's a packed weapon, but I use it to walk with as a stick, and also to be ready in case something attacks us, now that Roman pointed that out. And I make my way over to the plaque, leaning on this glowing halberd and looking down at it.
Again, the letters shift as you can read what it says. Herein lies the immortal remains of the telepathic pentacle. Sit, meditate, and learn.
Herein lies the mortal remains. I read the whole thing. Well, sitting and meditating, how bad can it be?
Roshik. I don't say anything else.
Velen comes over, looks to the well. What did you say? Telepathic pentacle. Well, again, not only in magics but also psionics, they were very skilled. Obviously, not the same level as, mind flayers and all that business, but still very skilled.
Well, first thing I learn something and I get the beautiful cup, next my eyes get stolen away, so maybe this is one of the nice ones again. I say with a bit of hesitation.
Maybe.
Do you want to meditate here, Roman?
Not really.
Well, I'm not sure then.
Velen, do you think we need what is here? Do you think we have what we need?
I don't know. Well, I mean, if you want to sit down for a moment, I'm not going to stop you sitting down for a moment, but just a minute or two.
Well, Professor Scant, does any of this mean something to you?
No, I am not familiar with this concept. A telepathic pentacle, though, could mean anything regarding a group of individuals engaging in some manner of telepathic communication. But I know no more information, I'm afraid. You will have to specify your query.
Me, being so confident now in how I am meant for something great. I nod to myself and I sit down. Well, I'll do this. I'll sit and I'll meditate for a bit and see if I can gain some sort of insight into this.
All right.
Sit down, I focus on my breath and a mantra of becoming the king, not the fool.
You focus on this for a moment as you sit down. Roll me a wisdom check. Just a straight wisdom check.
Well, no one's ever accused me of being wise, but I roll a 17.
You sit down for a moment and close your eyes. You begin saying these strange things to yourself, but your words begin getting drowned out, pushed away. You can hear something. There's a whisper on the wind, coming from the well. At first, you're not entirely sure what they're saying, but somehow you are able to grasp some understanding of the words, even though you're not familiar with the language. You suddenly find yourself thinking that all wands, of course, come from the Nether Oak. It's at the heart of the Arbitorium. But every wizard, especially the wizards of the 8 schools of magic, would have had one. They would have kept them on themselves, or in their towers respectively. And you blink a little, and a minute's passed, you think? This little information is in your head now. You can still hear a whispering coming from the well, but it becomes, once again, hard to distinguish.
I think I might have gleaned some knowledge. The wands of the Nether Oak come from the Central Arboretum. All the wizards would have one, but perhaps they're all broken and rotted away now. We could only hope that this Nether Oak still grows there.
Maybe, although if every primary wizard had one, maybe there'll be one in the tower as well. But wait a minute, you just sat down, and how did this information come to you?
Well, I tried to meditate as instructed, and there was a slight whisper of a voice on the wind, coming from the well.
Absolutely fascinating. You see Velen actually coming over herself and looking very interested at this well, but then she does pause a little. Roman, what are you doing? It does seem Roshik has had some insight here, but at the same time, you can now just hear on the air this dull whisper coming from this well. To be honest, to you, it's a little unsettling.
I try to listen to what it's saying, and I begin approaching the well.
You move closer to the well. You peek down just a little. You can see nothing but a dark void. You can't hear what the voices are saying. You think to yourself you would need to concentrate and maybe even sit on a bench.
No. I move back to Roshik and Velen.
You go back to them. Again, you can hear the whispers, but they dull down as you step away from the well.
Well, I stand up and brush myself off. I suppose that's one bit of information at least related to this rite. I look around, trying to get an idea. What's next? There are towers near us?
Indeed, the tower that was closest is now right there before you, just a short walk away. And again, of course, many other smaller buildings, larger buildings all over the place. It is, after all, a city. You feel once there could have been thousands of souls here.
Well, maybe if we can actually get up into one of the towers and can look out, perhaps there's a chance we can see if there is a tree visible somewhere, or an arboretum, or whatever it is, that actually is easy to see. Or we find a corpse of an old wizard and then steal the wand. That's fine with me too.
Where do you go, Roshik? You begin walking forwards. Again, a great tower then is before you. Do you investigate this tower, or do you try and bypass it and move further into the city?
No, let's have a look at this one. See if it represents some other school of magic.
You approach this obsidian tower. You notice this one is shrouded in mist that seems to suddenly sort of just spill out around the tower as you get closer. This one again has eyes, although this time the eyes do not appear to be carved into the stone, but instead seem to be floating around the surface of the tower and changing shape and size. This tower has a purple light at the top glowing dully.
Purple. What is this?
An illusion, perhaps?
Must be.
Yes, in fact, I'd say that's the symbol of illusion, so this must be the Tower of Illusion. If it's anything like the previous tower, well, just assuming, it seems that if the other tower had powerful divination magic, this one clearly has powerful illusion magic. We might need to be careful here.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, let's see what we can find. As we stop moving forward, I kind of slow my pace and kind of always feel the ground in front of me before I trust my feet to stand on it.
And you begin moving into the dark entranceway. Do you step through? You can't see anything beyond the darkness.
I try to light up the darkness to make it so that we can see what's ahead of us.
You do so, and the darkness does not change. What you do instead notice happen is it seems to move around the doorframe. From within you can hear the sounds of strange heartbeats, sobbing and crying and laughter.
Hello? Who is that?
You hear your own voice say, "Hello? Who is that? That laughter?"
Definitely illusions. Remnants, echoes.
Yes.
Don't know if it's meant to keep people out or just... I don't know. Maybe it's just some random thing. Probably no meaning with it at all.
Probably. Well, guess we'll try to move forward then.
Yeah. Just some kind of field enhancing all the illusion magic that was once practiced here, probably.
Probably. I take one step at a time, moving into the darkness. How does it feel? What do I see?
Roman, you step forwards, and, well, as far as Roshik is concerned, you vanish from view. Roshik, what do you do? Roman finally stepped forward into the darkness and is gone.
Roman? Oh. Are you there? In there?
Do I hear something?
Roman does not hear anything, and you hear no response, Roshik.
I poke the shaft of my conjured halberd into the darkness.
It goes in.
And I start swinging it about in there to see if I hit him.
You do not. It seems to be swinging about in empty space.
Oh, damn it. I look back at Velen.
Well, I mean, we can't just leave him in there, can we? Let's just go in.
Yeah, let's go in, I say, and I look at her.
She winces as she then just steps forward herself, and she too vanishes.
And then I follow.
Roman, you're in a large open field, somewhere by the sea. There's a great mountain in the distance, and the sky is filled with darkness and strange green stars. What do you do?
Where am I? Where is everyone else? Lathander? Do I feel him?
You don't really have time to think about it, because suddenly you see a figure shrouded in a dark cloak, whispering, "There is no Lathander anymore. The light has gone. You failed in your quest, and now all is lost. It's all your fault."
Well, I don't know if I will take you at your word for that. Who might you be?
Have you forgotten your love? Caliana removes the hood, revealing herself to you. Her skin is pale, but it is her.
And I feel a sting of pain, but this is the Tower of Illusion, after all. Come now, you do not expect me to buy that. This is an illusion, of course. What must I do to be able to get what I'm looking for and be able to leave this place?
Apologize to me, Roman. Tell me why you left me to die. Why did you leave us all to die? The figure begins approaching, her skin beginning to rot, her hair turning grey, her eyeballs slowly rotting in her skull as she just steps towards you with rotting hands outstretched.
And I begin backing away. You are not Caliana.
She is not, but as you say that, she leaps forward and begins throttling your throat. Please roll me a wisdom saving throw. As you feel the force of your throat being clenched tight.
23.
The pain is real, but how do you resist this to the best of your ability?
The smell is wrong. She doesn't smell like Caliana. This is not real. This is all an illusion. It is just in my head. It cannot harm me. I cannot be harmed here.
And you keep telling yourself that as the pain resides and everything falls into darkness. Roshik, you are standing in a castle, a mighty castle, but it is ruined, covered in frost and snow, filled with the corpses of the dead. What do you do?
I look around. Velen? Roman?
There is no response. You are quite alone in this ancient ruin, here in this cold wasteland.
Look, separated again. I look behind me. Is there the way where I came from?
No, there is nothing but a great, great plain before you.
God, we're taken to different places again. I move forward carefully, but I still try to kind of very awkwardly step with my foot, feeling my way forward before I put it down, so it doesn't end up just falling over some sort of edge, which is made from this illusion.
Indeed. Well, you move around a little in the rubble before then noticing there is something moving from underneath the rubble. What do you do?
What's this? I kneel down and I try to uncover a bit of it.
You uncover your face. There's you lying under the rubble. There's boils all over your face. You think you've been dead for quite some time.
Is this the fate that would await me if I get stuck here for too long? I look down and I touch my face. See if the eye is there or not.
There is no eye on one side of it, but there is an eye on the other, which opens. You also see this thing kind of lean forwards. There's a crown upon its head, rusted and old. Well, Roshik, don't you like your kingdom? Look how mighty and powerful I am. Isn't it wonderful? Just what I deserve.
I kind of gnash my teeth. Yeah, truly marvelous, I say, and I look around the rubble.
What's wrong? This is what we want.
No, it's not what we want. need to get out of here.
No, you need to accept who you really are. The figure leans forward, its hand grasping round your throat. You try and avoid it, but you can't. It grips tightly around your neck, and the boils begin spreading over your body as you feel your life wasting away. How do you respond?
I try to use my halberd to knock him off and away.
You do, but you can't summon any magic. It's impossible. This is how it ends. Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
14.
You are full of fear, Roshik. You can't summon your spell. You can't summon anything. You can feel the boils overcoming your body, bursting on your skin, your eye socket empty, no more, but filled with congealing blood. What do? You are overcome with terror.
I scream out in pain and frustration.
Please roll 4d10 and take that much psychic damage.
It's 15.
Please take that much damage. As your mind begins to unravel at this reality. This is real, Roshik. You are dying, and there is nothing you could do about it. But roll another wisdom saving throw.
That's a natural 20, a 24.
As you feel this happening to you, and the pain is real, what will you do to try and stop it? For a moment you think maybe there is something you can do. What?
I flail about. I try to reach my magical powers. I cry out, "My queen! Get me out of here!"
You hear a laugh on the wind. Not the laugh you've been hearing in this place, a very familiar laugh. And you feel the creature before you begin to disappear into mist, although you can still feel the pain in your neck, and you fall into darkness. Roman, you blink. You're in a purple room. You're in a chamber. You can see some stairs leading into this chamber. All around you are strange purple torches. And you think old desks and chairs and a table, maybe the remains of scrolls. It's a bit disorientating, though. You think you then see Roshik next to you, but he's currently screaming in agony, clutching at his neck. What do?
I run up to try and help him.
Roshik, you're in a strange chamber. It's purple. You think Roman's there. Your neck really hurts. Someone's just been throttling you.
I'm out. I'm free. Oh, and I collapse on the floor for a bit. Oh, damn illusions. How can they manifest and seem so real?
They can fool the mind into thinking that they are real. That's where their power comes from. It showed me things that I just want to forget.
I touch my face and my skin where the boils were at, and I give a shudder.
You hear Velen muttering to herself from a corner of the room. That was not pleasant, but to be perfectly honest with you, that was much better for me than those caverns. Simply magic. Illusion magic. And you know the patterns, you can tell. But it is very good. It was very powerful. But I think we've got past the worst. Where are we?
We're inside the tower, right? That's what it seems like.
Alright, let's keep an eye open for plaques and see if we can go upwards and get a view of the city.
Yes.
There is no way up, but there is a lot of purple light here, and as you say plaque, Roshik, and stumble up, you do notice there is one on the wall right in front of a very large desk, with drawers, and it seems a lovely little holding place with a small little wooden stick.
Here's something. I go over to look at it, and is this a wand?
You pick up the little stick. It looks like a wand. You're not that familiar with wands, but if you were to call something a wand, you think this would be it. It does seem to be made of a very fine oak-type material.
This could be nether oak. And I look down at the plaque to see what it reads.
It reads in common, "The final step of the ritual is easy peasy. Simply throw yourself off this tower, and all will be well.
Ah, I've got it. The final step of the ritual is easy peasy. Throw yourself off the tower, and... well, this is some sort of joke.
Velen comes forward and goes, "Yes, what are you talking? Easy? It says easy peasy, are you sure?"
It says, yes, easy peasy in common.
Oh, wait, I can see that as well, yes. That's...
You...
Huh.
Well, definitely some sort of illusion joke. How about this? Is this real? I hold over the wand to her.
She handles it carefully. Yes. I don't know if it's made of Never Oak, I don't know what that is, but it's definitely made of something, and it is... She twirls it around in her hand a little. Yes, this is a spell-casting wand. Well, we'll take it.
Very good. At least that's something.
Roman, you too can see this rather strange message. What do you do? You can read it, by the way. That's different.
But surely that would be a death sentence. I mean, we don't have any way of flying or anything like that might be able to allow us to kind of bypass, like to cheat this.
Roman, roll me an insight check.
27.
You can read this. Why can you read this? That's not right. This is wrong. That, and of course, the fact that it is indeed telling you to do something quite stupid, and it does say easy peasy.
It's a trap. That's why I can read it.
Well, at least we gained something. We have a wand. It's one more step towards the right.
Wait, hang on. Roman, maybe now you can try dispelling something. Try and dispel this.
All right. And I do just that. I cast my Dispel Magic spell, and I call forth the power of Lathander to remove the magics on this item.
And you do so. The tower shimmers a little. There's a great deal of magic here, you feel, and you definitely cannot dispel it all. But you focus on this thing in front of you, and then suddenly it is as if a piece of paper is torn off a wall. The strange message fades. Beneath it is a more familiar thing that neither you or Velen seem to be able to understand. But you, Roshik, if you peer at it, will see a familiar sensation of letters and words changing and turning into something else. What do you do?
Yes, you've dispelled it. It was just hiding something, and I look at the newly formed words.
Initially, the first 4 lines are repeated to you once again. How you must hold a wand crafted from Never Oak, summon a flame in the palm of your hand, speak a secret about yourself aloud, and then compel another to share privately with you a secret. But then it continues. The flame must then be quenched in ice. You must then mask your appearance. Draw a circle on the ground using the ashes of a corpse, and stand inside the circle you have drawn and consume poison. Then the way will open.
This is the full rite, I think. I mean, it's not all pleasant. But yes, it starts the same. With holding the wand and telling the secret, and then I relay the rest with the flame encased in ice, the poison, and the rest.
And I think back to what I stepped on out there, and there's ashes from dead people everywhere here.
Does that sound like a more accurate ritual than jumping off a tower?
Well, the last part doesn't sound particularly pleasant, but again, if this actually is the ritual, well, I mean, consume poison. Well, you don't necessarily always die from poison. You know, some poisons just make you unwell.
Yes, I suppose. And we have the wand. Do you know how to freeze a flame?
Well, obviously I do. It's a simple cantrip. But it doesn't necessarily need to be magic. Even, for example, you could put a torch and hold it over your palm. That would count as summoning a flame, you know? It probably, normally, considering where we are, is something that basic wizards can do, but you probably could cheat. Again, it's a ritual for a door, not a intelligent being.
Sure, yeah. Well, let's Did any of you two bring poison?
No.
Yes. No, I don't carry poison around with me on a daily basis for some reason. Anyway, should we maybe continue this conversation elsewhere? Velen looks nervously at the walls, and again you do hear a bit of laughter. Even after that dispelling you did, something seemed amused, in a jovial manner at what you had done, Roman.
Yes, let us get out of here. We don't need to stay within this tower.
There might be a more pleasant one that could be helpful.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. This hasn't been going that well. I think we've done well. You notice she starts slurring her words a little, and she seems tired. Oh, goodness me, how long's it even been? When did we last eat? Oh. Let's get out of the tower, let's get out. Velen begins heading down these stairs, which you'll notice if you follow seem far more mundane now. There seems to be less mist lying around as well.
You're right. Perhaps we should take a break, and we should eat something.
Yes. Let's.
You find yourself outside the tower. It still is rather unsettling, but you already feel a lot better now you're outside. You look around. Other than that open space, there are other buildings, of course. Many other buildings. This is a city. But what do? Now Velen has mentioned it, not only are you both feeling hungry, but you are feeling tired. You especially, Roshik, having had quite a bit of pain inflicted on you. That wound from before still festers as well.
Yeah, we should find somewhere to set up a little camp or rest.
Yes. Let us find shelter.
Velen nods. Normally I'd be against it, but you might be right. I mean, this is a city, and even if we could go now and do this ritual, I'm feeling fatigue. It's probably not wise to run on half rations. No, let's see if... I think we can risk it. After all, we're the only ones here, or at least that we can see, and... well, if we just find somewhere safe, find somewhere secure. It's a city. There must be a ruined chamber somewhere, right?
Yes, there must be.
Yeah.
Roman, you seem slightly more with it than Roshik. You lead the way. What are you looking for?
Well, I'm looking for any kind of building that looks like it's in, well, structurally in good shape, and that it doesn't have so many entrances and exits and big windows and things like that. You know, something that we could defend ourselves in easily.
Yes, you walk forward a bit more, maybe another 10 minutes. You come across what once looked like... what if you were to hazard a guess? Was this a market of some kind? It has that open feel with lots of little buildings and ruins of wooden stalls. Maybe this was once some sort of bazaar or place people shopped. Again, it's a strange feeling, considering that this is a city. People lived here, so even though you've experienced these strange magical towers, people still did normal things here, right? So yes, you come across this place, and you do think you come across what looks like a store room of some kind. You poke your head in, there's no traps, only one entrance. Again, there's a bit of unsettling dust in some corners and some robes, and you think what looks like a small toy of some kind. Maybe a child was here once. You're not sure, but this building seems secure.
All right. We will be here. We can defend this place. I say to the others, all right, let's set up here, and let's take some time to rest.
Yeah, good. Good. I put down my bag and I bring out the jug, the alchemist's jug. And I sit down with it and I tap it and I say, "Make for me a potion of restoring limbs."
There is silence, and then you try and pour from it. Nothing happens.
Well, worth a shot, I suppose. Well then, bring me a cup of the 31st batch of Holmgren's warm cider.
As you tap it and then begin pouring out a cider, I mean, it looks like cider, a glass of it anyway, Velen does sort of scoot over and go, Wait a minute, hang on. Oh, you've used it now, but you could ask that for some poison, couldn't you? Just a simple poison, or like a mild, something like a mild shade of rosemary. That gives you a stomachache.
Alcohol is a poison.
Well, I suppose you have a point, but you'd have to drink an awful lot of it for it to count as poison.
Well, sure. I can do that.
I don't really want you getting drunk before we potentially head into a very dangerous ruin.
Yeah, oh well, that would have been a good idea, I suppose. I look down at the cup with the cider in.
Velen shakes her head. She steps past you, Roman, and you see her casting a spell. Quickly, you notice a barrier forming just around that doorway, and probably through the walls as well. She has cast Leomund's tiny hut, but done it inside the building. She then quickly clicks her fingers so the outside is darkened, and remarks, "There, unless something comes and stares right at us, well, we'll be safe in here for a night. If it's night time, I don't know what the time is anymore."
That's good. Good thinking. Alright, well, let's make sure we have someone on guard, and then let's rest as best as we can.
Roshik, what do you do? Roman seems to have set the place up, and it does seem as if, for the moment at least, you have a safe resting space.
I can take the first watch.
Thank you. I bring out a little bit of food so that we can eat and get as much energy back as we can before I try and patch up any wounds, any healing that I can do for myself, any first aid before getting some rest.
And you will do your best to patch yourselves up, to eat some of your rations, and eventually you will all have a long rest. However, even though you get sleep, it's a restless one. Neither of you is able to sleep well for some reason. There's something in the air of this place, something oppressive. You sleep, but it's not a good sleep. Could you also please all roll me a Constitution saving throw?
17.
13.
Roman, you sleep as best you can. You keep watch for a time. It's fine. It's all fine. And again, your spells are all regained as they should be. Roshik, by morning, that unpleasant feeling in your arm has gone, and your health is once again restored to its full values. However, during the night, you had a strange vision, a very unsettling dream. This is unlike any dream you've had before. There were no phantoms of your future or past, no fathers, no strange silhouettes of castles. Instead, you just felt you saw eyes, multiple eyes, watching you. These eyes, some of them belonged to Velen and Roman, and they were watching you, waiting to strike. The strange feeling that they are waiting to strike. And when you wake up in the morning, you do feel a bit unwell. You feel a bit sweaty as you wipe your forehead, and for a moment, you think you see Velen and Roman about to strike you with a weapon, but of course not. They're just sleeping, waking up. It's clearly all in your head, but you don't feel well. You currently have a very deep paranoia suddenly upon you. What do you do as you wake up feeling like this? Roman is already awake.
I wake up with a headache as well. I sit up slowly, wipe away sweat from my forehead. That wasn't very nice. That wasn't very nice at all. I think we need to be up and done with this place.
Good morning, Roshik, I guess.
Good morning. I feel my arm. I think I'm getting better, though my body needed to sweat out a bit of fever. I've not had the best sleep of my life.
Yes, well, who cares about how you sleep, says Velen. She snaps a little at you. You notice that she looks a little alarmed at you for a second, Roshik, and says, I'm sorry, I didn't sleep very well either, and she rubs her head as well.
We're all under pressure. Velen, don't worry about it.
Roman, make me a perception check.
That's a 21.
Roman, as you're saying that and looking at Velen, and then looking back at Roshik, something's wrong. They're both sweating a lot. That's a bit strange, considering that it's quite cold here. Why are they sweating so much?
Are you alright? Are you sick? Is that it? You're clearly running a fever.
What? I'm not running a fever.
You're sweating.
I'm uncertain. Velen sort of backs away a little from you. Roshik, you do feel unwell, but why is he talking about fevers? A voice in the back of your head says, he's trying to trick you.
I'm fine. I just, it's like I said, I needed to sweat out the infection.
I move up to Velen to see if I can have a look at what's going on with her. I'm trained in medicine. I know what I'm doing. If you've gotten sick, I would be able to tell. Can I have a look?
Velen flinches at your touch. She seems suddenly concerned about something, but she does stand still. Roll me a medicine check with advantage.
21.
You don't know what it is, but she definitely has a fever. A very high fever. Her eye movement is erratic. You don't know why she suddenly flinched from you. There is something very wrong here.
I have access to all kinds of healing magics, restorative magics. Is there anything, based on what I'm seeing here, anything that I think that what I have could help handle?
Do you have greater restoration?
I do.
Then you would know that the powers of greater restoration can heal almost all diseases bar the most exotic. And while you don't know what this is, the symptoms at the moment seem like something that surely that could work, or do something at least. Of course, it is a powerful spell.
Yes. Velen, I think I can help you. I don't think I can help you both, but at least today I can help you if you would accept mine and Lathander's help.
All right, do what you will then.
And I reach out to touch her, and I let Lathander's lights envelop her, and I cast Greater Restoration.
She blinks, and something happens. Again, you can't really tell exactly what, but you definitely feel as if your holy aura does reach her, and something is removed. You see something sort of just like a mist just leaving her. She blinks. Oh, what did you do? I actually feel a lot better. Yes, I do.
That's good. That means that it worked. The bad news, Roshik, is that I can only do this once. I need to rest, I say, and I see that it has taken its toll on me. I need to rest, and then that could help you.
No, I'm fine. It's just, I'm fine. Like I said, I needed to sweat things out sometimes.
All right. I'll help you as soon as I can.
Just, no, I'm good. We'll move on.
Roshik, of course he can't help you. This was a whole part of his plan. From this point onwards, you have the following flaw. You are not sure you trust anyone anymore. This is, of course, not a definitive personality trait, but it will now influence you going forwards. Velen, on the other hand, looks towards you, Roman, and says, "Thank you. I apologize. It was very strange. It felt as if things were watching us from the shadows, and for a moment I thought you were going to draw your weapon on me. I know you wouldn't, but I thought that. Strange."
Well, this place, it holds many secrets, and as I said, I saw something earlier. I'm sure we're not here alone. So, it's very possible that someone wants us ill. Let's continue moving, shall we? If we stay together, I think we can get through this.
Certainly. Velen moves towards the barrier and lets it down, and immediately when she does so, you notice something rather peculiar waiting for you outside. A raven. A raven with an envelope in its mouth. Roman. It's just sort of there, fluttering its wings, looking at you expectantly.
You are searching for us, I say to it.
The raven nods. At this point, Velen's owl quickly pops its head out and starts hooting at this thing rather aggressively. The raven drops the letter and just sort of caws at the owl rather aggressively as well. They don't attack each other, they're just clearly not happy. And Velen notices the raven and says, "What? No. What's that? What does the letter say? Roman, read that letter. Careful when you touch it, but I don't think it's magical."
I move to pick it up, and I open it.
The letter says in common, "Greetings and welcome. I hope you all had a good rest. I would love to have a proper chat and be civil about things. Come to the Sky Dock. P.S. If you don't come soon, Velen, I'll come and get you. Please, let's be civil. Signed, your dear friend, Avarice."
Oh, and I show it to Velen. "Your friend is here."
"What? No! How? This is impossible! She couldn't have been following us. She was nowhere near us. The only way she could have remotely is if she had some magic. How is this possible?" She starts pacing back and forth quite anxiously. Roshik, your head clears at least a little bit as you hear this. What do? How do you respond?
I give a satisfied smirk and cross my arms. I think to myself, yeah, Roman's clouded her mind. I can see that. He cast some sort of spell. Maybe he picked up some sort of illusion or trickery, and now she is trusting him. I know I can't, of course. I cannot really trust any of them. But now things are coming together. Maybe they'll all kill each other. I'll leave with the spellbook in tow.
I don't know, Velen, but it doesn't matter now. What matters is that she's here, and we need to deal with that, and we need to avoid her at all costs.
Well, she can help us, surely. She helped Easthaven once. Maybe she is here and can help us with this strange task.
Nothing she can do will be helpful, Roshik. If anything, she'll simply use you until it suits her purposes and probably throw you into a river or something. God damn it, that arrogant brat. Oh no, Roman, we're gonna have to... If she's here... As she says this, you see the raven taking off and flying away. We need to sort this out now. If we do anything, she'll be spying on us. She probably has spies. She can't have come by herself. Where's this Sky Dock tower? She starts looking around and looks towards where the raven is flying. It does seem to be flying to a large tower. Not one of the 8 central towers. This one's slightly to the left. It's a bit taller than most of the towers in the area. It seems to be some sort of stone tower that leads to a sort of bubble of some kind, like an old glass bubble. Very interesting looking. That's where the raven seems to be flying to.
Well, that's where we must go then. There's only one way to handle this. We have to take it on head on.
Exactly. All right. We'll have our parley. We'll make our stance clear. You two are with me, and she will not be able to intimidate us. Besides, when did she arrive? She must have got here when we were resting. I thought it was all right to rest, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know. This is so irritating.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy, is it? Don't worry. We'll get through this.
Well, I for one feel much better. Let's go.
That's good to hear, Roshik.
All right. Very well then, let's head to this tower. Again, here's the story. We tell her nothing. Worst case scenario, well, I've seen you use those guiding bolts. Yes. Maybe we would need that. Maybe we just intimidate her enough. She's completely useless after all. A stupid, young moron. Thinks she knows everything. I can't believe she got here. It's almost impossible.
Maybe she did something long ago. Who knows?
Maybe.
Perhaps one of your kobolds betrayed you.
Yes, maybe. I don't think they'll be alive anymore.
I put my head to the side a little bit and I look at Roshik. I, of course, know what happened, right?
You do. He told you.
And I just kind of give him a brief look and then look back to Velen. Well, let's go. We are here to save East Haven, or at least that's why I'm here, and if she helped us before, who knows, maybe she can put off this feud that she has with you until we've saved all these people.
Velen sighs and looks down a little, looking at the wand, and begins leading the way, her owl looking agitated as it perches on her shoulder, and you begin making your way to the Skydock Tower. Roman, how are you feeling? Things have become more complicated, and this place itself is still clearly quite dangerous. How are you feeling as you move forwards? Again, Velen seems irritated and upset, but still better than she was. But Roshik, he just keeps looking around quite erratically with his one eye.
I will have to help him. He must have been hit by whatever she was. But I trust that he will be able to fight against it, whatever it is. But it is worrying, and I am stuck in all these lies, living with the decisions that he has made. I will never betray him, of course, but I don't feel good about not telling Velen about what's really going on. But I can't give her that information now. It would just make things worse. We'll just have to get to this tower and then take it from there and try to avoid bloodshed if we can. We're here to help people, after all.
Roshik, you begin following the others. How are you feeling? Interesting. Avarice has made her appearance, it seems, but she has tact. I think she seems to want to speak. That's interesting. You aren't sure, though, what's going on. Your eye itches, and you keep thinking there's something watching you from the shadows. You are a little bit aware that surely this is all delusional, but at the same time, you're not. How are you feeling?
Yeah. I feel like I'm not at my full senses. I try to listen more now that my eyesight is worse. But I do feel better. The wound is healed. I feel stronger. I feel ready to take on something more, and my belly is somewhat full. I got more energy. And now, well, with Avarice, I wonder how that's going to play out. I didn't think she'd make an appearance until we'd actually gotten the damn thing. Now, when we're still struggling to get into the tower, I wonder what she's trying to do at this point. And what will I have to do in return? Unless she has something to offer me, I don't know if... Well, she owes me already.
You continue moving onwards. For a moment, Roshik, you blink as you swear there's something watching you from a high wall. A being in a sort of cloak with a gigantic green eye. A single giant green eye. You blink and then it's gone. Was that even there?
My hand already started tickling with the eldritch blast that I was about to send out. There's a green eye. A green eye. Have I seen that before somewhere?
No. Well, no, wait. In your dreams, many watching you, comforting you, comforting large green eyes. You only have one eye now, you think to yourself. That's funny, isn't it?
It is really funny, actually. Maybe I gained something. Maybe I can access something. Maybe my eye, lying in that orb with eyes. Perhaps it's a way of sharing information. Perhaps I can use it somehow.
Indeed. Happy thoughts and feelings, logical, as you scratch at your eye, so itchy now, and you just feel so hot, even though it's cold. And with that, the three of you begin making your way through more ruined buildings, heading towards this large tower that apparently is the Sky Tower, being watched from the shadows by strange green eyes.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we played Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. The music was created by Flowers for Body Snatchers, Ugasanye, Wordclock, and Metatron Omega, and was used with permission from their label, Cryochamber. Check them out at cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for more music for your table. We would like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon, Martin Heuschober, Nastasia Raulerson, Simon Cooper, David, Julia, David Hagberg, and Camilla for their generous support. And we would of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult of Divinity Lost and Coriolis there, as well as get early and raw access to all of our recordings. You can also hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as play Cult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. May Lathander protect you, and fill the world with light.